Hello everyone, it is I, Ryan, also known as the Lovebat. And so I am here to go ahead and continue on in my sort of belated episode of my next episode of this Let's Play of Blood Bowl 2 with my Lizardman team, the Sea of Red. It's been a while since I've played with them. Played a couple other games kind of in between during the summer here. Some days I'm just maybe don't have the energy or I'm just not in the mood to let's play a game, but I'm interested here to go and get back into the action and at the very least go ahead and complete the season with my Lizardman team in the league that I'm playing in against the AI opponents. So right now, last we left off, we were in the middle of the Blood Bowl qualifiers and we've kind of made our way pretty well through the game here. We haven't lost a match yet. We've had one tie very early on in our team's career. And ever since then, we've ended up with wins. So some of them have been kind of by the skin of our teeth. And we're hoping that this time we won't have to worry about too much trouble. Our roster, I know in recent episodes we've had to kind of prioritize what we're going to do with our roster, especially in regards to Skink players, because they kind of inflate our team value a bit, even though they aren't quite as potent, I would say, compared to the Sauruses and to our Kroxigor, which does a really good job of locking down enemies with their high strength and having guard, having prehensile tail and different abilities that makes it very difficult to move him, and it makes it difficult for people to escape him and dodge around him because they have prehensile tail to prevent them from just running away. Couple that with the fact that they have thick skull, it's hard to take them out of the fight even if you get them knocked down. Then mighty blow means that they can get some injuries more often. So I think that overall we have a fairly well-rounded team. I may have made a bit of a mistake last time when leveling up a character to get the pass skill with Munditeek here. It's not because I don't plan on using it, but more so because getting something like Sure Hands might have been better, because for a team like us, we're going to have someone pick up the ball, and having Sure Hands to ensure that we get the ball in the first place might have been better, and then we can save the team rerolls for when we decide to pass the ball, since picking up the ball probably more essential to our plans. So if I could go back and redo it, I would get them the Sure Hands skill instead of the pass skill, and then if I need to make a pass, I can save team rerolls for that when I need it, because nowadays I have block on several of my source players, I have 6 strength on my Kroxigor, so I can get some pretty good blocks in with our heavy duty hitters. But Sure Hands might have been a better place, so that way they can be the one to always pick up the ball. And then if I need to throw it later, then I can go ahead and use a reroll for it if I need to. But yeah, now having to use team rerolls on picking up the ball is a bit more of a cost, I would say. And if you don't pick up the ball, that's definitely a bigger deal than dropping a pass to where you are controlling the situation a bit more in that situation, as far as, you know, where it might land and everything like that. So but obviously, you know, hindsight's 2020. I wanted to be able to have some semblance of a passing game, and passing the ball can get you more star player points. So I figured that, you know, it might be worth trying, even though it's probably not optimal. But in retrospect, it probably still would have been better to go for Sure Hands on Munditeek. But you live and you learn. Hindsight, you know, you can learn things. I probably won't need to get any more team rerolls because we have really good fan factor, which might get us some extra team rerolls. And 6 rerolls is probably good enough. There's only 8 turns anyway, and we're not going to use a reroll in every turn. And we have built-in rerolls for dodging with our Skink already, so that's already one thing that we don't need to worry about rerolls for generally. So I don't know if I'm going to spend any more money on the team rerolls. As far as team value, I try to get it lowered down by getting rid of some of the Skink players, which I might still do next time for, say, any of these Skink that don't get a good level up next time. And then if why Swatter doesn't get a good level up. Next time they level up, I might get rid of them too, even though I don't want to. But you have to make tough decisions to make sure that they don't just get a bunch of free sort of spare money each match for the opponents. That way they can get extra stuff like the star players that can try and injure our players with the chainsaws, for example. That is pretty common. So we're going up against the Kislev team, and as far as I know, I don't really ever play with them. I've played against them a couple times, 1 or 2 times in the past before I started doing the Let's Play for this team. And I've seen matches with them online occasionally, but not very often. They aren't a very common team. Essentially, they like to use the leap skill, to my understanding. And using leap and very long legs, they can get to places that are otherwise fairly hard to get to for whether blitzing or for scoring. They'll try and use that to their advantage. And obviously having a good agility on like the catchers, for example, can aid in that, since I believe it's based on agility for the likelihood that you land. Very long legs will also help with that, but it looks like that they have a very good blitzer here. Stand firm, dodge. So that's going to be interesting to try and knock them down. It's interesting that they don't have the block skill. I would assume that most blitzers would want to get block from the general skill list. Diving tackle, probably not. I probably wouldn't have gone for diving tackle and piling on. I would have gone for block and tackle, just to make them someone really difficult to deal with and get them away from a ball carrier, for example. But they're still going to be difficult to deal with. Stand firm is certainly going to be interesting to try and push them back. He has fend, so we can't follow up on him. They have some strange skills, things that you don't generally see in leveling up players. Guard and Juggernaut could be interesting. They can blitz in, and then they have Guard to aid their other players once they get next to them. So that's interesting. I'm pretty sure that their blitzers start with jump up already, so that's there by default. Alright, so they start with jump up, diving. So that's a lot of skills that they start off with. So yeah, I haven't really had diving. I didn't have diving tackle come up with the skink that I had get diving tackle, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a huge factor here, but they're not a very threatening team, but with their leap skill, if they get fortunate rolls to go their way and some passing going, then things could be interesting there. So because we don't have much tackle, they might try dodging around. I don't even think we have a single player with the tackle skill right now, so they could try dodging around us and trying to score that way and leaping everywhere. Helmut and Hemlock? Is that how you pronounce it? Hemlock, I think. I think that they got 2-star players there. So yeah, it looks like they got a couple of star players for their petty cash, and chances are they're going to probably try and hurt my players. I don't know. I've probably faced them once before, and I just forget the names because it's been a while since I played the game here. There they are in their sort of upright poses and very matter-of-fact-like in their beards and goatees and mustaches, and their bare-chested dudes. So yeah, they got the Chainsaw Goblin, it looks like. So that might be a bit of a problem. And then they got a Skink player who I don't know what they do very well for a star player, so we'll see what happens. And for the first time in a while, here is the Sea of Red team. And a little bit of screen tearing here, but you know, that's okay. As long as the game functions alright, I'm pretty much A-okay here. As long as I don't have technical problems like I did a couple episodes back with my computer hard drive failing on me. Thankfully, it's not been an issue ever since, so... Okay, so they have a Skink star player here. What exactly is it that they do well? Okay, so they use a weapon. They have block, dodge, sidestep, and stab. Okay, so instead of using their strength, they essentially stab people, but if we make a block against them, then our block is going to end up being very effective because they aren't going to do much to stop it. So, do I want to... I mean, I might as well have him up here. He has a good armor value, and he has guard. So, it's probably still in our best interest to do this. You have block. Who's on the sideline? Yeah, we want to get one of these guys. We want our guard player in here. I think we definitely want you anywhere close to them. The least valuable person to get smacked around by a weapon. Probably them. Let's get you in there, and then I guess you on the sideline. Probably don't want you in on defense. We want to use you more for offense, I think. And then +1 movement, +1 strength. Okay, so we protect some of our more important skink. We put the sidesteppers on the edges. They could try and leap over, but they still have to go back and get the ball at the very least. So we have a strong left side. They're going to try and injure some of my guys here. Maybe it might still be better to put some of these guys off the line. And then we'll just kind of have to hope that no one too important gets hurt here. We'll put our guard players right here so that way they can still potentially help out. Alright, so let's just do this. I don't want to risk my important players getting smacked around by one of their weapons, so this is just going to have to bite the bullet and deal with it for defense. But we get an extra team reroll from our fan factor, so that's great. And the ball is right on our doorstep, so that's actually not bad. We can blitz their chainsaw guy pretty effectively, I would think. We could blitz with a Kroxigor. We still have a 5 out of 6 chance of that succeeding and get a 3-die block in all likelihood on him. Just to try and see if we can injure him and get him out of the game right away. We're going to be able to make a block on him pretty easy, though, since he's good offensively, but not good defensively to resist the block. Alright, so they do end up picking up the ball, but they had to use a reroll for that. It's the only reroll that they get this turn. Okay, so they knock him around. Let's just have him go this direction. I could have had him go this way to try and clog the sideline to make it more difficult for them to go up the sideline, but then I still have to deal with this guy over here making things difficult. Looks like their chainsaw didn't succeed. They hit with it, but they didn't break his armor, so that's why I put these guys up here instead of the skink, because the skink would have a much higher chance of getting knocked on their ass and getting chopped in half, so... we'll wait to stand him up. Let's get you in for an assist, so that way you can make a block. We could just get you in with guard right here, so that way you're right on the ball. I'm going to move you there before we do anything else. Just having guard there is going to be very, very effective. I don't know. I can blitz my Kroxigor, and then I will have a couple blocking attempts here. He has stand firm, so I can't move him. But I could follow up a block with someone else on this guy, for example. Never mind, he has Fend, I believe, so that's going to be interesting. We have to start making some moves here, so... You have the 3 strength. We could blitz a few and then move in the Kroxigor, but I think I just want to do this. Three dice. Probably the best we're going to get, so let's just do it. See if we can knock him out. Okay, so we stun him. Now, let's see if we can get a nice little block on this guy. Yes, very nice. Let's just do this. And let's do this direction since they don't have as many guys over there. Follow up. Okay, so that is a spot where we can go ahead and get something going. Let's try a block right here. It's fairly safe. Let's fend, but that's okay. Okay, so let's get you on the ball. Let's also get you on the ball. And then let's go ahead and make a 3-die block here with block. Alright, so he's going to dodge around, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and stay there. And then let's just go ahead and stand you up. Not worry about you. We don't need to dodge you out. And then we can make a safe block here. Might as well do it. Okay, so get him on the ground, and then we're going to try and dodge our way in here to pick this thing up. So might as well try. We have a free dodge reroll. I'm not going to reroll this. We're still in a pretty good position. And I could have rerolled that, but I'm going to just save my rerolls so I have a reroll for every turn from now on. I still have one guy in the ball. It's going to be difficult for them to move him off. Their chainsaw guy is stunned, so they can't really do a whole lot to try and take anyone out this turn except for over here. He's far away. And they failed with the stab. So this skink has 3 strengths, so he's going to be okay as far as resisting a block. And they failed another pickup attempt. You get it that time. Interesting blitz. They do it with a really good blitzer. Let's go ahead and just sidestep towards the ball and have an assist over here if we need it. Can possibly make a block with him on that lineman. Okay, so they didn't really do anything to any of our guys. They just kind of pushed us around a little bit. We need to get in our guard players in there now. Getting him out of the way would certainly help that out quite a bit. Could just go for the ball carrier right now, but he doesn't have block. So I don't know if I want to do that. I might want to blitz the ball carrier instead. That's only a 1 die, but that's a 2 die if I want to take that. I can't follow up the block, but I can get my guard player in there afterward. Let's just go for some of the safe blocks that we have with our block players first and see how we do here. Let's follow that one up. We can move him all the way over here and have guard on all of those three guys, make it difficult for them to move anywhere. It's probably the best play in giving them away from the chainsaw. So let's see if we can move him out of the way here. Might be our best bet. We aren't going to be able to follow up the block, but we can get someone with guard in there. That's going to be good enough. I could also make the block with our guard player, but I think I'd rather just get him in there first and have him at least sitting there. Then we can make a block with him. 3 die, I will take that. Let's take that now. I'm going to use my reroll on this one. We definitely went better than a push. And let's see how this ball lands. We still have a blitz. Alright, so 2 players on the ball is pretty good. We also have a blitz. We might want to try and take him out first here, if possible. Alright, so they're going to dodge around again. We are not going to follow that up because we don't want him to get a free block. So we're going to just go ahead and take this 3 die here since we have it. See how our 3 strength skink does. Let's go ahead and follow that up. And then you can you get around there? Yes, you can. Just enough movement to get around there. Let's see if we can get you knocked away. Let's get him more towards the sideline, and maybe we can serve him next turn. Then what do we do with you? We could make a block over here. You know what? Let's go ahead and get you over here. Just kind of be a safeguard in case they get anyone down there. And then we'll activate our blitz with the... Okay. Stand firm and dodge. Let's use dodge, and we failed to dodge out. Or did we? I don't know, I guess. What the heck happened there? It said something like we failed to dodge. Oh, they used diving tackle, I think is maybe what they did. I don't know what skills does this guy have? What did he even do? Was it diving tackle or something like that? Diving tackle to prevent him from just running and he knocked himself down. I've never seen that before. That was just very weird. A very weird sequence. Alright, and now we're in a cinematic juggling of the ball here. No one can seem to pick it up. Come on, you guys. Okay. That was interesting. That was the most cinematic juggling of the ball I've ever seen. That was just the odd camera angle to be able to get something like that. Because they did the leaping skill to try and pick it up at in the same action or turn of events, and they did not succeed. They still might have had someone that ended up with the ball, but it was a bit too difficult because we have a bunch of dudes around here with guard that kind of make that a bit difficult. So the ball is kind of stuck in limbo over here. Stuck in midair. So yeah, let's see what we can do with our Lizardman now. We do have a clear spot to pick up the ball. He's a very good candidate since we have him sitting around over there. He is in scoring range if we can get the ball to him, and he has the catch skill, so that's not bad. Okay, so we definitely want to try and get rid of the chainsaw guy. They didn't have a chance to move Stabby guy yet. I want to get him close to the ball, but I can't really do that comfortably yet. You can get 2 dice on either of them. That's not a bad idea. And then you can only get 2 dice on him right now. You get 2 dice on him. I could just blitz with him and then move him in towards the ball. Maybe that's a better idea. Because he has the block skill at the very least, and we can move him next to the ball after the blitz. And everyone else is still in an advantageous position. Alright, perfect. And we get a stun. Not ideal, but hey, it's better than nothing. And then we want to move you right. I think right here is probably right where we want him. We just want him right on the ball. We have all 3 sides covered here. And then we're going to start making some blocks here as best we can. So, start off over here. We have re-rolls aplenty if we need them. We're not going to follow up. We just want to stay right on the ball. Ooh, injury? Injury? Alright, just a stun. That's fine. We could do a chain push to get the chainsaw guy away. What? Why is our turn going by so fast? Alright, so let's do this quickly then. I guess, I don't know if stand firm's gonna... Yeah, stand firm doesn't change anything. Okay. Our turn is going by very, very fast here. Let's just try and pick up the ball. Okay. Let's try and do a block right here the last second and see if we can do something with this. We'll send him this direction. And let's go ahead and stay there. Smash him in the face. And move him in next to these 2 guys, and that shall be that. Wasn't able to go ahead and deal with the chainsaw guy before our time ran out because I was spending too much time thinking, but... And he gets himself stabbed in the face. And Loner comes in the way, and they are just really in a world of hurt. Yeah, their stabby tactics don't really tend to work that well when you have several guys, like, supporting my teammate right here. And they left this side completely wide open now, so... So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and play this a bit safe. And I could try and foul one of those star players, but after I score, the star players are going to be gone and they can't do anything because they'll be sent off the field, so... let's just go ahead and move you first because the Skink is going to need to move into the square that he's occupying to get through here. So let's move him out. We're going to kind of get a little cage going here for our Skink dude. This is what being a mobile team can do for you, is that you have a nice little cage going. Yeah, that's going to be fine. We can get some players in here to help cage things up from threats. They can potentially use the leap skill, I think, to get in here, so we might want to just go right there just to have an assist if possible. Okay, and then we have another skink right here that we can move around if we can get rid of him. Let's just do the 3-die block. We have plenty of rerolls here if we need it. And we free up the skink. And then let's go and follow up on it so that we have someone they have to dodge away from up here. So we are getting some favorable blocks now. They haven't had a chance to, or they haven't stood up their players a whole lot so far. So you have the catch skill, so let's just get you. We put you right here, then no matter where they leap to, we're going to have at least one assist. So this will make it difficult for them to leap in and do a blitz in one of these spots. So he could potentially leap in, I think. He's probably the only one that could reasonably do it. And we have you with 3 strength. Can you get a good block here? And we can do 3 dice or 2 dice. Let's do 3 dice and then see if we can do anything with the chainsaw guy. And we'll follow this up, get guard going in the middle of this Carnage. In the middle of the field is always Carnage with the Lizardman team. Alright, so that's 2 die, 2 die. Let's try the 2 die with you first. Okay, so we at least get him knocked down. And we get him stunned, so that's probably going to take him off of the pitch for the most part, because we're going to probably... well, yeah, so we could do a blitz here, 3-die blitz if this guy on the catcher. Let's just do this and see if we can do anything good here. Then we still have a block with him on the other guy, onto the left. Let's just do this then, and move him that direction. Let's go ahead and stay there. And then let's go ahead and do the block here, see if we can surf him out of there. Okay, that's very fine. Stay. We don't really need to follow it up. And we KO him. Alright, so we got 2 KOs so far. Certainly I'll take that. Obviously I want injuries, so that way I can go ahead and get star player points, but you gotta do what you gotta do here. And then we have, I guess it's still a 2 die, and that's a 1 die. Alright, so let's try and deal with him. Alright, so let's see if we can knock him down and see what we do. Let's go ahead and stay here. I don't want him next to the stabby skink, and that was a very successful turn. None of their players, like only 2 of their players, weren't on the ground to start that off. Their blitzers do have jump up, but their linemen and catchers don't. And this guy I don't think has jump up, so he can't get over there, I think, even if he wanted to. So we have at least 1 assist on any jump up blitz that they would try. So he does have jump up, but he has very little going for him here. And sidestep means that they can't really do a whole lot. So yeah, we have a block on their star player. That's easy pickings there. And they did not do so well down there, apparently. I think that they rolled double skulls on my skink. Or it might have just been 1 skull. I don't know. Yeah, they did have an assist from this guy, I guess. So they would have had 2 dice and they rolled double skulls, so bad for them. We've had a bit more fortunate dice, I will admit, during this match so far. So it's probably not too prudent to try and blitz this blitzer, even though he is a blitzer and he can potentially get over there to do something, but I think all we really need him for right now is just getting an assist on a block. Oh, let's just get you over here, and then we can make a block with our 3-strength skink on him. Then you can get over here to get in position for an assist. Okay, so that's just a 2-die. Yeah, we at least want to get him in position where he's able to do something, so let's have him try and go this way. Get away from the chainsaw. And then we can get, I think, a 3-die block. No, that's just a 2-die, I guess. That's just a 2-die. That's just a 2-die. So we don't really have a favorable block here. Let's try blocking over here first then. Let's do this one. 3-die I'm okay with. And we get the knockdown. Sidestep, not really important right now, so we just need to get him on the ground. He's stunned, so he's going to be kept out of the proceedings for probably the remainder of the match, so now we just want to make sure that we have you protected. I could score right now, guaranteed star player points, but then that would give them enough time to possibly score next time. So let's just move you up here. Move in my guys to sort of assist my fellow dude. And then let's go ahead and I might just do a blitz right here maybe. Block him, and then after the block I can move him. Or move my player here. Move him away and don't follow it up. So we knock him down, and then we just want to make sure that they can't get anyone reasonably in here. Let's go for the catcher first, since he's closer. Let's go ahead and stay so we have a better block on this guy down here. I guess it's not 3 dice, but that's okay. He has fend. And then let's go ahead and block him. And push is fine. And let's just go ahead and stay there. Okay. End of turn. I was able to get in all my blocks just in time. I just want to delay one more turn so that way by the time that they would get the ball, they're only going to have 2 turns left, which is not really enough time to be able to score. Usually you need 3 turns. If you're a pass heavy team, you could potentially do it in 2 turns, and then if you have at least one really mobile player with 9 movement or more potential, then you might be able to go ahead and do something, but and they failed the going for it, so that's another reroll down for them. Alright, so they push me, but I'm just going to sidestep into the end zone here and take the score. That's probably the first time I've ever sidestepped into the end zone to get a touchdown, but I'll take it. Chaqkoet, you got yourself the first of its kind, the sidestepping touchdown. You just kind of shimmied into the end zone there and shook your tail. Now it does give them one more chance to get their knocked out players back by doing it before halftime, but I was probably going to have to anyway, and they lose their star players from all this. I thought that they would, but I guess I assumed that Hemlock would be taken off the field, but I guess not. What's going on? Oh, the searing heat. Alright, so we have sweltering heat going on, and our guard, Saurus, was taken off the pitch. So, let's see. Who's a hero? You're a pass player, you're +1 movement, and you're +1 movement. Okay, well, someone's got to go ahead and take the brunt of this abuse, so let's go ahead and... Let's just go ahead and get you into a spot right here. I don't really have to play it too aggressively here, so I'm going to move them back one spot. And then, I guess, you being here is okay. Since we have a +1 movement guy on that side, let's put one on this side of the field. Thank you, Carnage of Dawn, for being a hero for me and being up next to all these guys. I just don't want anyone important to get stabbed here. Maybe for this part, I might just have you in the middle. I think that I might need guard a bit more. I don't think I'm too concerned about the stabbing from Hemlock as much as I was the chainsaw, but I don't know, it might be kind of foolish to put him right in the middle here and have an opposing block on him that's 2 or 3 dice. So let's do this. It's probably the most reasonable. Yep, and as I thought, they don't have their stabby star player right up front there to stab, so the right decision here. And both teams gain a turn because there's a riot breaking out in the field. Oh my! I bet our team would probably win a riot against most other teams because we just have brawlers on our team that can really smash in some skulls, I would take it. So we smashed in a couple of skulls. I guess they're kind of affected by the sweltering heat too. One of their key blitzers is off right now, so granted the skills that they have on their blitzer doesn't make him too threatening, but stand firm can make it difficult to get him away from the ball. So looks like they might be going in this direction here. And they're going to take a blitz on one of my not too important players, Chaqkoet, who just scored the touchdown. And we'll sidestep that way to get closer to the ball. Could blitz with Oz of the Moon over here, and then if I only push him, then I can get him close to the sideline. Could also, well, it's going to be hard to blitz Hemlock because they have a catcher there that's kind of in the way, but I can also go ahead and get an assist right here on the catcher as well, because this would be a 2-die blitz, and then if I get 1 assist it would be a 3-die, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and move you over here first with your movement. It is a bit risky to put him over here because you have him and then you have the possibility of them going to this side, but gotta do something here. So I could just have some Skink gang up on this blitzer, but I could also just go ahead and make an assist right here with a couple of players. We might just have you hang out over there right now and occupy that catcher. We could get an assist on that catcher as well for a block because he only has 2 strength. It's not a bad idea. We'll go ahead and put you over here to try and protect you a little bit. Our throwing player, and then we can get a block player in here. Can't quite get there, but we can get close, so we can get him in here. And then this can be Let's do the 3-die blitz here, and then we can move him afterwards if we need to. Okay, so let's smash him that direction. I guess we'll follow it up. Injury, yes. Guess what we need. So Ivan Romanov is taken off of the field, and we have the star player points in the making for Coalshix. Knocked him out of the saddle there, so very well done. And then I think we want to get you on these guys. We kind of leave this side of the field pretty open, but we have some mobile players to take care of things if we need it. Don't really have any favorable blocks over here right now. Let's try and get someone on the ball, is what I'm thinking. We just need to get people next to the ball here. We have much higher strength than they do. We can get him off the ball, I think. What's his other skill here? Shadowing. Okay, so it's not going to come into effect here. Let's get him pushed back, and then we don't want him next to the ball. We want to try and get our guys close to him. And we get a stun. Excellent. Let's get in big man here. And a push is fine. We at least get him next to the ball carrier. And then you can get in next to the ball carrier as well. And then let's do a block right here with our rerolls available. Let's have you stay there, so that way we have you freed up in case they do any jumping shenanigans. And then let's get you away. We just want to try and prevent him from being able to run rampant around here. I don't know, maybe right there is better. We just want to prevent him from... We want our skinks in a position to where even if they get someone back here for scoring position, we have skinks that can try and intercept them. Or they can try and prevent them from just walking in for a touchdown, basically. If they manage to get the ball out of here. So they're not making an effort to score with this guy, which is what I thought that they would try and do. Or it's what I would have tried doing if I were them, so... Because he's like... A catcher here is also a scoring threat if they can dodge out with him. 4 agility makes that possible, and some rerolls. But, yeah, this is their only real scoring threat right now. He's a bit too clogged up in there, and their reroll went very poorly there. And we might be able to score ourselves because we have, as it happens, a scoring threat here with Axel of the Lake. We have 2 turns to score. It also might be helpful to take Chaqkoet into scoring range as well. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 going for it to be able to score with you. Where's our passing player? He's over there. So he's freed up. Let's see what we can do with our blocks here first. Anyone here with block that we can make use of? That's only +1. This will get another player in there though, so let's see if we can do this first. We don't want to move the ball carrier. We definitely want to just do this, I think. Let's get a bunch of guys around the ball carrier and make it impossible for him to do anything. At this point, we're just going to go ahead and try with the 3-die block here. We tried to see if we could get something more advantageous. Don't really see a need for using a reroll, and Ball carrier going here is probably better because then we can make a block with this Saurus right here. And we're going to follow and have him right in the middle of everything. And then you can get a 3-die block while having the block skill. Yes, that's okay. Get the ball carrier on the ground. Where do we want him to go? Let's have him fall right here, actually. And then you move back there. And let's just follow this up. If we're lucky, and a Saurus will catch the ball. I don't want to re-roll that. Oh, that's perfect. So we might be able to go and get the ball here if we can get that lineman taken care of. So let's go ahead and see if we can get him knocked down. Excellent. Oh, most excellent. He's going to make the ball scatter here, but I'm hoping that it's not going to do anything bad for us. I'm not going to re-roll that. Let's see where it lands. Okay, so right there's okay-ish. We can take out the catcher there, and then we can... Well, I probably should have done block, but that's okay too. Let's just stay there in case we fail to pick up. And then we can go ahead and probably just blitz him. Let's go ahead and get this guy so we can knock him down first. Free up the Skink to move over there for an assist. Let's just go ahead and stay there. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to get you assisting over here. And I want you to blitz him. Probably from here so we can at least push him over to there. Perfect. And we get a stun, and then let's move you next to the catcher, and then let's go ahead and get you to go ahead and try and pick this thing up with re-rolls, and then we can try and give it to Axel of the Lake to get in scoring range here. Alright, perfect. And then I also could just try and take you up for, well, let's just try and give it to him since he can move through. Excellent. Alright, and then we can get him well out of range of almost anyone else here, so. And you know what? It might be worth it just to go ahead and score because he can reach him next turn. We have re-rolls. Let's go ahead and just take the score now. Alright, well, here we go. Team re-roll time. Please don't fumble this. Okay, good. That would have been kind of embarrassing to, on the very last spot, going for the touchdown, and he slips and trips on his 2 left feet. But yeah, the only reason I did that is because their stabby Skink star player could have still reached him because he has a very high movement speed. And because that particular Skink that had the ball only had 2 strength, it's probably just better for me to go ahead and just go in for the score now and not risk a player getting injured there. Plus I get some star player points on a Skink. I mean, ideally a Saurus would have caught the ball in one of those sort of moments where the ball is just going around everywhere, but you have lots of players that are really dealing with this heat right now. Their players have kind of come back, while as our players, not so much here. So, okay, so who do we have here? We have the guard, Saurus, Rox of Gold. So let's go ahead and put you right there then. Well, they only have 1 turn. I don't think that's enough time for them to be able to do anything here. I might just keep my Sauruses up here just because I want to get some blocks in with them. I'll just get these guys reasonably out of range of any blitzes. I tried moving you back here. There we go. So I'm going to put them out of harm's way, and then we'll put you back here if we want to blitz a few somewhere. Yeah, Coalshix has a decent number of star player points, so he's getting ever closer to another level up. Guard is just to help make sure we don't get as many guys knocked down on this particular turn. Not surprising what they're doing. I was just doing that just to prevent them from trying to get a score or trying to do much. Having my guys in there will allow me to get the blocks on them, so... And a riot that gives them an extra turn means that having some people up here is now helpful so that they can't get an easy score. They're probably not going to try and go for a 2-turn score here because the AI doesn't usually do the aggressive plays to try and get a score, especially down to nothing where they need one. And it was on their offense, so our team playing defense usually is an advantageous start, so we do better on defense a lot of the time. Because then we don't have to try and pick up the ball ourselves, we just have to knock the ball out of their hands. Okay. So, I don't think that there would have been any chance for any of our skinks to score via, like, I'm not sure how the chain pushes work in detail, but it would be possible to potentially do a 1-turn score if you do chain pushing and you have a very high movement player, like one of our 9 movement skinks that are out of the game right now, so... that's a 2-die. Could make it a 3-die by putting you over here. Let's go and do that. And then you have a 2-die block over there, and then we can do a 3-die blitz, I think. Yep. 3-die blitz of a block player, I will take that. Probably should have done from there so I could push him away, but... And let's just use a reroll here, because why not? Dodge and sidestep. Let's just go and stay there. We're not going to fumble around with this guy. And then you're providing guard. He's more valuable to get knocked out of the game, so let's try and see if we can hit him out. Maybe get an injury or a KO on him. Maybe we can go ahead and try. Well, that's not going to be too helpful, so let's just... Alright. Let's just kind of move him away from the ball carrier here. Smash him in the face, and then could move in you to go ahead and get an assist on this guy. 3 strength, they're not going to be able to get an easy block on the skinks, so it's, might as well. And let's do this with the assist. We're a bashing team, we gotta try and bash some skulls in here. Now you get a 2-die block here. Perfect. And we're gonna follow up on that block so that way we can have him in blocking position on our final turn. If I had a skink further up, I could have tried to, you know, get them in with the extra turn, but didn't really turn out that way, no pun intended. So those are 3 strength players. I don't want to move in my throwing player. It was a bit too valuable to lose. He does have block and they don't, and I have rerolls, but I don't know. Let's just go and try for it, I guess. Okay, we have plenty of rerolls here to... Oh, and we get an injury out of it. Well, that's paid off quite a bit. Alright, so I'm very happy that I took the chance there with the reroll and having block on my character, or on my player here. And then you... I just don't want you in range of their stabby dudes, so... Let's just have you... Not you. You. Okay, so they... if we put you over here, then they can't go for it to try and blitz them in any way, but... They're still going to be in position next turn to move around if I need them. I could have moved them up with the intention of trying to get them to throw the ball if I can attack their ball carrier this turn, and then have them pick it up and then do a pass for star player points, but I just don't want to risk him getting blocked or blitzed at random by any of these guys. I don't know if their Skink would try and dodge through and do some weird blitzing type things, so I don't want to worry about that. Okay, so I could try and blitz their star player maybe. Might be a good play just to try and injure their star player if I can do it. Not really worth it, I think, to go for the ball carrier, so... yeah, let's just... that's not going to be too much help. That's not going to be too much help. Let's try and do this 2-die block. Or I could try and block him first and then blitz from a different angle. Move him out of the way, knock him down. A very good block. Solid block. Knocked him right off of his feet. And then if we just blitz from here, then we'll have the 3-die blitz here with a reroll. So I am quite satisfied with this. And I'm just going to use the reroll on a 3-die block, and we don't get it, but, you know, it's such is life when they have dodge, block, and sidestep, so, and there's not much you can do sometimes. I know that some Elven teams, whenever they have a player with block, dodge, and sidestep, they are very, very hard to deal with. Because you have to basically get the golden POW to be able to knock them down. Let's do the player with block first, since we used our reroll already. Okay, so we can at least maybe get some kind of block on one of these guys, maybe, perhaps. Yep. So it's only 1 die on them, but it's 2 die on him. So let's try that one. Just trying to do a bit of bashing here before the end of the half, and maybe we'll get lucky and get an injury and get some star player points to go with it that we desperately need. Let's go for him first. He's a bit more valuable to them. And then one final block, and then that's the end of the half. Let's try getting him out of the game here. Alright, so hopefully I don't get injured here. Alright, just a stun, that's okay. A stun is fine, it's not going to really impact anything, so... He tried, he gave his best effort, but it kind of fell on its face, so... Such is life. Blocking in pro football, you know, sometimes you can just get a bit of a stinger on the shoulder and you kind of... you know, hard to get back into the game, so... Looks like one of their players is still dealing with the sweltering heats. I don't know how our players are dealing with the sweltering heat here, we'll see. Okay, so we have one of our block sources and one of our less valuable skink on the sideline right now. The good news is that we have both of our guard players in our lineup and we're on offense, so we can make use of our guard players here much more effectively. So let's see if we can get you some stud player points. And let's see, you have guard. We have to have at least one person with block on the front line. Are there any any of the catcher players out here anywhere? There's him. So they have two catchers, but they're behind their blitzing type players on the sidelines here. So, and then my throwing player, I'm going to want back here somewhere. Yeah, so he's back there. I guess we'll put them right there, I suppose, since they can more easily run forward, pick it up, and then throw it if they need to. Then you guys can kind of be along here. Probably want you up in a more blitzing position, since that's kind of your role now. Same with you, we'll put you on the side there, and then we'll just have to make do with the players that we have. So if we can get enough blocks going here, then we're going to be able to eventually, stage going one direction or the other. Maybe we can swap you out for that direction. So that way if we can go left, then we have one guy paving the way. We want to try and not go the direction of their star player, I think. Maybe we can put you right there, just a bit more closer to that direction. Yeah, I just want to make sure that they can't just run on through with anyone there. Okay, so we can move into one adjacent square here. Oh gosh, well that is not good. I guess if anyone's going to try and catch it, it's probably better if it's someone with a catch skill. Let's move you up here. We're going to need people on the ball here, and oh no, we want to go this way actually. I mean, it's legal, isn't it? So let's just do this. You moving in between them is going to be great. Move you there. We just want our guard players to be right in there, all up in their grill, and then you move there, and then you can get up on them, and then you're gonna move. I think this is actually better, just move them right there. We have a bit more coverage on the outer end, force them to go around more spaces. So we have two players next to the ball at the very least, and let's confirm. Alright, so it bounced into a not so great spot for us, but that's okay. You could potentially throw it and give it to him, and then he can do stuff with it, but first we just want to make sure that we have players here that are going to be on the ball. So let's, and if we get you in here for an assist, then I think that can easily be a 3-die block. In case I fail to pick up and it goes out of bounds or something like that, having him right here is probably better in case the ball scatters somewhere very not good for us, so... Okay, so I definitely want to get him in there and then throw the ball to someone with movement. First, I need to make sure that I can get in some good blocks here. I'm going to have to probably go for some 2-die blocks, but we do have a 3-die block there and there. You're closer to the ball, so let's just go for him first. Okay, so I'm not going to re-roll that one. I'm just going to have to take it. And let's go ahead and follow that. Guard, block. So let's go ahead and see about freeing up one of our sources to get over here to help out. Oh, we definitely want to re-roll that. Push is going to have to do. Let's get him next to the Kroxigor and Croc Hunter. So that way he's not going to be able to just roam around. And then I think we definitely want you to blitz here. Bit of a risky blitz with a player that doesn't have blocks, but we're going to have to do something to try and get some space here. And we'll stay. And we'll get onto the ball to protect it. And then... still think we want to... maybe just getting you on him might be good. Because you have sidestep and +1 strength. I think you're going to be okay against him. Regular lineman shouldn't be too terrible for you. And you have blocks, so let's get a block on him. Let's just do this. Then let's definitely get you over here. Let's get an assist. We still have coverage over here for tackle zones. That's still only a 2-die. We already used our reroll for this turn, so I probably don't want to try picking up the ball this turn because I don't have the sure hands for that. So let's just get you a bit further back. I just want you in kind of the middle of the field of a tackle zone here, I think. And I just want him back here so that way if the ball goes out of bounds and then scatters, I need at least one skink that can go around and do something about that reasonably. And then let's do this block. Alright, so that was a good result. Let's follow up on that one. And we get a stun, it appears. That's okay. And then let's move him over there to get a bit coverage there, and we can throw the ball to him when we get a player away from the sideline, I hope. So I just want to have enough coverage around in this area, so no matter what happens, I'm going to have some player that's around if they do any leaping or dodging or anything. So this coming turn is probably when I'll try and pick it up with him. Again, it is risky though, so without sure hands, and you don't get the free reroll for it. So they're going to do the blitz here. They have blocks, so that's unfortunate, but they don't get an injury, so that's good. Okay, so they didn't really get any blocks there, which is good. I don't know if I want to stand them up or not because I don't want them to get smashed or stabbed by the star player. Switching sides is probably a good idea. Let's just go for some safe blocks as much as possible first. And just have a reroll available for those. And then if we need to delay picking up the ball, then I can if I have to use a reroll for some of these. But we could still probably, if we stand him up, then I think that we could potentially get a 3-die blitz on the star player. Since you have guard, that would actually make things a lot easier. But you know what? We might just want to try and avoid the star player too. Moving you over here, actually. Oh, dang it, that's a dodge. My bad. So I thought I'd be able to get him in there, but I guess not. If we move you, however, then... So let's move you up here then. Then we can move the guard player down into this spot to give assist on both of those. I think at this point maybe it's the best interest of us to try and pick up the ball now and just use our reroll for that if we need to. Okay, very good. Let's get away from the sideline and let's just try and switch sides here and cage up with our big dudes. So we have a 2-die block there. We are caged up pretty well over here. Move him over here, and then let's get them kind of in that general direction. And then we have a 2-die block here. I'm willing to go ahead and take this. Very good. Not often a skink gets to go ahead and block people and knock them around. And he gets it stunned. Not bad at all. And let's do this block. I think we get him on the ground as well. Let's send him that direction so he's not right next to the ball carrier. Nice. And then let's go ahead and see if we can push him at the very least. Okay, we get even better than that. I'm not going to follow up. I don't want him to potentially get stabbed, but just knock him out. So this is the downside of standing up my 3-strength skink first instead of waiting, because now I could have tried dodging with him out of there, potentially. But I'm just going to have to be okay with this and hope that he doesn't get stabbed too hard. Hate to say it. Hopefully they fail a block before doing this one with their knife-wielding dude. So yeah, we have a pretty good cage here. Looks like they got a stab. He is injured. No long-term effect. I am okay with that. At the very least, now he isn't going to be able to suffer an even worse injury than that one. So, and we're going to use dodge. So yeah, it sucks that our guy got knocked out of the game there, but we have the game pretty well in hand. I could have tried dodging him out of there pretty effectively, but again, that's the downside of standing him up first, to think about having an assist with him on a blitz, and then the blitz doesn't come to fruition. We can definitely move through here. And a couple of catch players over there. Since you have guard, let's just try and... let's get you nice and snug between these two guys and see if we can knock them around. And then you are going to be nice. Oh. I guess I have to make some blocks over here first before I can move him all the way up there. That being potentially a 3-die, though, could be interesting. I mean, let's go ahead and do this then. Let's move him right there. I think that this should be a 3-die with 3 assists there. Yep. Okay, so let's do this. Get the block, we get the knockdown, and the partridge, and a pear tree. And we're just going to stay there. As close to the ball as possible. So, let's see, yeah, let's move him over there. And at this point, it's time to start moving skinks around. They're close to a level up, so if I can get them a level up, that would be great. This is a catcher, so let's just move you next to him. I can probably blitz the catcher too. That's probably a pretty reasonable option. And then let's just get you up here as far as possible, up where I'm going to probably make a pass. And then we can blitz the catcher and then move after the blitz to get on the other guy over there. Follow it up. And then he can cover up on these two guys to prevent them from getting in. I take it you're going to have a 3-die here somewhere. Yep. Since you're closer to the ball, let's just go for him. And a push is okay too, I guess. Might as well follow it. That's just a 2-die. So at this point, I'm probably just going to go ahead and do this. And I'm just going to go ahead and pass the ball, since I have rerolls built in for this. So you can get the star player points, and it works. And let's go for the 3-die block here, after we're at the end of the turn. So yeah, having the built-in pass reroll and the built-in catch reroll certainly does play a big help in ensuring that you're not going to go ahead and fumble the pass or fumble the... that you're not going to fumble the pass or fumble the catch on that. So now they can potentially get in with someone who dodges through. They can't quite get there though, thankfully, so that's good. He might be able to get over there if he dodges out of a bunch of dodging, but I think he's the only one that could probably do it. Maybe he could do it because he has jump up, but... Alright, so they failed the dodge, I guess, or they didn't fail the dodge, they just wanted to leap. And they get the POW, so... What? Why did they reroll that? What? Why? You could have just knocked him down. Why would you do that? Why not just knock him down? I mean, the only reason that you wouldn't do that is if you're trying to serve someone and get them off the pitch. But they need a knockdown right now because they're down 2-0 if they wanted to win the game at the very least. So if you serve someone, you get them off the pitch. But if it's a closer game, then maybe you could justify getting them off of the field guaranteed. But in this case, I don't think that was really helpful for them. So, okay, so you can still definitely score a touchdown because their catcher has only 2 strength. We don't quite have a 3-die here. We need to get a block in first. That might be able to... I might want to deal with the stuff up here first. Just make sure I have the reroll for the important things here. So you're not going to be able to do anything to help. I don't think I'm going to get anything better than a 2-die, so I'm going to put this skink over here on their stabby skink. I think maybe right there is best. Just get someone on him. And then I think 2-dice blitz is the best I'm going to be able to do on the catcher. The question is with who? I could free up my Saurus, but I don't think he can get over there. So if we blitz from here, we can push him away, and then we can run to a score here. So let's do this. Okay. And let's just stay where we are. Okay, and then... You know what? I think I'm just going to go in for the score. I don't think I need to fumble around with any of these blocks. I certainly could, but I could get burned on it. These guys have block, so they could do it. To score or not to score? I mean, he levels up if we score with him, and he's a very good player. You know what? I think I'm going to have more blocking opportunities here. So I'm not going to risk anything. I'm just going to go ahead and score. He's one of our better skinks, so it makes sense to get him leveled up if we're going to do it, so we might as well do it. And our cheerleaders are dancing away for the 3rd time now. Maybe 4th time if you count halftime, I guess. But 3 scores is generally a very good game. One of our guys got injured. But you know what? That's Blood Bowl, I guess. That just happens, you know, just like real life where you do have injuries that happen in professional football. You sometimes just have to live with them, and that's just the nature of the sport. I do want to get my guys in here for more blocks. Thankfully, the sweltering heat hasn't really... So sweltering heat took out the guy that leveled up, and that's okay. We wanted to probably not risk him getting injured anyway, so that's good for us. Maybe just have them off the ball so they don't get free blocks in here on this first turn. In the middle of the line, that's okay because we have guard players to do that and help out. Okay, so let's get you here with a 5-man line with 2 guard players. They're not going to have any easy blocks. And then you get on the edge. And then we can just try and protect our skinks here, I think, is what I'll probably do. They can potentially try and run back here to blitz them. Not likely unless they get a knockdown on one of our Saurus players. Okay, so these are our 2 sidesteppers. We're going to leave the sideline open. And if they want to try and loop around to blitz one of our skink, then that's fine. We can surround him with our other skink on the 2nd level here. And I like this setup for Lizardmen because having a lot of guys up on the line just makes it difficult for them to make a block and to try and push people Oh, what's this? One of the guys suffered an injury because he got smashed with a rock. A very big one, apparently. So... And it was one of their frontline players who was very skilled, apparently, so... These guys in the front are not going to be doing anything anytime soon. Yeah, they're not going to really be able to do much here because we have guard players on the edges, so they can't really make anything more than a one-die block here. His guard will have an assist on that one, and then his guard will have an assist on either one of these, so... The most that they can really get is a one-die block, so... Oh, come on! Oh, god damn it. Well, okay, that happens. Sadly, I can't use a reroll to make it difficult for them to do stabby things, but... I guess they have a Dauntless lineman, so he can do reasonably good against our Lizardmen here. Yeah, that's kind of sour luck, but you know what? It does happen, so... And at some point, they do have to take some kind of risks. If this were in a, you know, player versus player match, not player versus AI, then risky moves do make sense if it's like a closer game and you kind of have to do them at some point, so... But if it were me, I mean, they are star players, so if they get injured, you're not really losing a player for the long term if they fail on that blitz. But if you're going to blitz someone, you might as well blitz someone that's more on the edge, and you can get more actual assists in there to make the block a bit more advantageous, I would guess. So this is what we can do here. We can just send in some assists with our skinks over here, making life living hell on this guy. So there's no one there. Maybe just the block player would be better here with 3 dice. Let's go ahead and stand you up, just to have guard on some of these players here. And then we can get a 3-die block on him and as well as him. So let's go ahead and do these first. That worked out quite well. Let's go ahead and just stay here. Have him next to this guy when he's going to stand up again. And then we can get one person in to attack the ball. I think we should do that. We could also blitz with a Saurus player as well. Blitz the catcher and then move him up as well. But I think we can get an assist in. Blitzing here is... there's a dodge there, I guess, technically. Oh yeah, because we have to deal with him. We have to deal with the Skink player first before doing anything. So let's do this. They do have sidestep, but that's perfectly fine. And we KO him out of the match. So I quite like that. I like getting their star players out of the game to where they just can't make an impact anymore. And then we can do a 3-die blitz here. Rerolling is going to be tough, but I think it's worth it to try. Loner makes it tough to reroll, but okay, we got him down on the ground. That's what I wanted. Let's go and follow, because if he catches the ball for free, that's great. Okay, so it's back there now. So let's move you up. Our catcher has 4 agility. He'll probably try dodging. Let's just get you up over here. Move up to the ball, and without their stabby dude, we don't have to worry too much about what they're doing in the middle here with injuries. We could potentially, I think, get a 3-die block if we get this assist right here. So I think I'm going to try this. Yep, let's do the 3-die block. And I'm willing to re-roll this because I want to try and get some knockdowns here. We have so many re-rolls left, we need to try and use them, so... And they don't really have any ability to try and knock down my bigger players for the most part. Maybe him, if they dodge someone out and get some assists on Coalshix, then maybe. Might be a time where I try and get someone leveled up as far as a Saurus, if I can get someone up there in time and try and pick it up. Maybe I can get Huntzor a touchdown if possible. Failed to dodge, as I expected. They're going to try and dodge. And they failed it again. And they get punished, and I get star player points. Damn, that went very bad for them, but very good for me. I mean, I hate to see them always be on the bad end of a lot of these things in this particular game. I mean, it's gone very much our way. I thought that he would get star player points for knocking him down when he tries to dodge, but I guess maybe that only applies... I guess I assume that only applies whenever they fail a block against you and then you knock them down, like a, like both down or attacker down or something like that, so... Okay, so if we can get Huntzor out of this mess and get him a touchdown, then he would level up. If not, then we have a couple of players down here that would be very good candidates for scoring. So what do we want to do? The catcher is in no man's land, so I think we just want to keep you there. We could just do the 3-die blitz here just to make sure we get him on the ground, and then we could try later picking up the ball with our Saurus just to see if we can get him a touchdown here. Okay, perfect. And then we can just keep guys on the ball so that way they can't get it. And we'll save him for later. I think this one... Yeah, let's go ahead and do another 3-die. We'll try the less risky blocks of our re-rolls here. Let's stay with him. I guess it wouldn't be unreasonable to get something going with him too. You know what, let's just go ahead and get you over here then. And then, I mean, we could try and throw a pass as well with this Skink. At the very least, let's just protect him. Having players around him is a way to protect some players, so... And then let's just move you right next to the Saurus, I guess. I'm not really concerned about their ability to score. I don't care about leaving the back end open, so... Could have tried for some more assists in this direction, but you don't have block, but you do. Yeah, let's just try this with one of our block players. Have him go that direction. We're going to stay there. And then we could potentially free up a Skink by doing this block. Follow up, and then let's go ahead and... Yeah, let's get you on the ball, or next to the ball at the very least. And then let's block him. Push is fine. And let's stay there on the catcher, make it difficult on him. You have blocks, so I'm okay doing this block first. Very good. Him having Fend is annoying, but, you know, what can you do? Then we'll try and pick the ball up, and it's going to be difficult, but I've got to try. Since he has Loner, I'm not going to try and reroll it right now. For now, just having two big dudes on the ball, that's going to be more than difficult for them to deal with, so... But yeah, I'm just trying to give my big dudes a chance to try and score a touchdown here, if I can get them the star player points this time. Okay, so they do get the POW. No armor break, but they use their blitz, so they're not going to really be able to accomplish anything else, I think, this turn. If it were player versus player, they might try fouling in some cases for one of our Saurus players, but if the match wasn't close, they probably wouldn't try and do that. They'd probably go for the star player points instead. But we can potentially free up this guy to maybe get a touchdown. You could, or not you, yeah, you could still throw a pass potentially. So let's stand up our guard player. That can make some blocks a bit easier, I think. So we get a 2-die there if we want it. But we can also get a 3-die there. Let's do the 3-die blitz. And just make it a safe blitz so we don't screw anything up too much. We'll stay there and move back onto the ball. Let's move in this direction here to face off this guy from getting in there easily. And then now we have a 2-die block on him, which, you know what, I might as well take it and free up my throwing player. And then I think I want to move him back further away from the ball. And we'll stay there on the catcher. So I have my throw player who could potentially throw a pass here. Get someone some star player points. He would be the ideal candidate, but Chaqkoet getting leveled up would be fine too. So what blocks can we make down here? Let's try and free up our 3-star player point player if possible. And you know what, why not? Let's get you down over here on him. You have blocks, so I think this is a pretty safe block as well. Let's do this one. Works out splendidly. Probably should have followed up if I wanted another free block on my next turn, but I just want to go ahead and have him be able to move up here if I need him. So now's the point I need to decide, do I want to get my Saurus to try and pick it up again or not? I mean, I could pick it up and then try completing a pass or handing it off to him as well. That's certainly viable. Which might just be worth doing just to try and get him the ball in his hands. So let's go ahead and, oh, not that. Let's get you on the ball just in case things fumble up here. And then we'll have you pick it up and then do a handoff to the Saurus here. I do want to re-roll that one. I have plenty of re-rolls anyway, so... what difficulty would a handoff be? Still a 5+. If I'm going to do a handoff, I probably want to do it from this vantage point then. And now let's do the handoff. Okay, so we have 3 players on the ball, so that's totally fine. At least we can say that we tried making an effort for them to be able to score, but they're not really handling the ball very well right now. If I had a reroll available for that, for the handoff, I probably would have taken it. But haven't really had opportunity to go ahead and do that, so... And we still have 2 players on the ball, and we have plenty of sources that can blitz and block and do all those things, so... And their blitz does not fare well for them, and they already used the reroll, so... Thankfully, the sweltering heat hasn't really hurt our team this match. We've had enough of our bashing players in there at one time to make do with what we need. We just need to get this guy off the ball, and then we should be home free for at least being able to get a score with somebody here, so... freeing up him and then throwing a pass to him maybe is what we can do since we have the rerolls, and try and maximize our star player points. I think, again, I would have liked to have scored with one of these 2 players, but don't think it's going to happen. So I could score with Huntzor, which is valid, to try and score with him, but it's not likely. We don't have any turns left to spare, so let's get you in here, hopefully. I'm not going to reroll that one. Sucks, but, you know, he will do just as well for an assist. And then we just need to get him away from the ball and blitz this guy right here. So let's blitz him, and then all we need is a push. As long as we don't get triple skulls, we're pretty much okay. And we'll just, might as well just stay here, I guess. And then, yeah, so you're the one that can pass the ball. Even if they have the ball fumble out of bounds and go all the way down here, they don't have anyone in scoring positions, so... Let's just go for broke and put you into scoring position. Oh, I don't know if there's any other blocks that I want to make. He has guard, but he's not really helping anyone that can block, so... yeah, we're not going to really be able to make any reliable blocks. We have a 2-die with block there, the block skill, I mean, down there. So I could do this one, and then I'll just try and do my thing down there. So we'll just stay here, since we don't have another turn to make any blocks. Let's get you in here to help out my Skink so they don't have an easy block over here. You're just going to have to stay there and hold up the fort against those guys, and then you're going to have to stick there, you're going to have to stick there. You know what, I can just stand him right here. If they drop the pass and it fumbles to one of these spots, then having him there, he might potentially catch it for a touchdown, so let's put him right there then. All contingent on this, of course, and so that works. And we have a reroll for if we need it, but let's see if we can get the star player points here. And the rerolls worked! So the passing skills have been paying off here for us, thankfully. I'm very happy about that too, because we can... Like, obviously it's a risk. You risk not getting the touchdown in the first place, but, you know, the star player points adding up for the players that have gotten good level ups. I will take the risk and try and maximize it as much as we can before the bigger, more important games and tournaments, so... Okay, so let's skip through all that. I think it's not really relevant now, but I guess the sweltering heat has been keeping some of our players out of the game. Some of their players too, but most of their players are mainly injured right now, so sweltering heat hasn't affected them as much as us, but we've injured enough of them to where it hasn't mattered too much. So we've kind of knocked them on their asses a good bit here. They've knocked us on our asses occasionally, but their star players didn't really accomplish a lot in this match. We're at a point in the game now where we don't get another turn, so let's just get all of our players back in a safe position. So we got one level up, I think. We didn't get any others this match, but we did get a good bit of star player points, obviously, so so I guess I want to get my valuable players off the line here. Kroxigor, let's get you off. Let's get the guard player off. Let's just go ahead and put our blocking sources up here, I guess. So they'll get one free block in there. Having my guard players in there could prevent some blocks, but I think I just want to make sure that they can't. You know what? It's actually probably safer just to put my guard players up there. Thinking about it, it's actually probably better. Because we have high enough strength where they can't get more than maybe one block. So in hindsight, you know, it's like, I've changed my mind. I'm going to do the guard play here. So I'm going to try and protect as many players as I can with this setup. Not really concerned about them trying to score in one turn, so not really thinking too much about the back line setup here. So yeah, by having the guard players in there, I'm just preventing them from having a chance to be able to get a good block. Okay, so another legal defense. So I guess it might be a good idea just to go ahead and set up some people back here. Set up my guard players over here and make it very difficult for them to try and block anyone here. Can I have more than 2 players in a wide zone? Okay, well, let's put you over there then. Fix that problem. Okay. So we have 2 guard players here, and then we have him. That wouldn't be too much of a loss if he happened to get some debilitating injury, so probably the best way to protect them. I'm not really concerned about them being able to block Croc Hunter here, so I'm not really too worried about that with 6 strength, so to try and block Croc Hunter and get a 2-die block, they would need 3 strength. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you would need 5 assists to get a 2-die block on like a blitz or something on him, so it's near impossible, and they failed the leap. And they failed it again. He fell on his ass. But you know what? Again, such is the life of Blood Bowl. Their team is a very risk-oriented team with taking leaps of faith almost, to try and score and get their players into areas that they couldn't otherwise reach. So I'm willing to reroll that. I'm likely to get as much or more. Okay, I got a 3 again, so I'll take that then. I guess our fan factor is high enough to where it's not going to really increase. And Zlat to the Moon got our MVP and has also leveled up, so that's very great. I think that we only have one player left that doesn't have at least one level up, so that's very good news. It's very good that our Skink aren't just hogging up all of the MVPs now, so that's very good. Yeah, so you can see that our team being very... Like, we are very good bashing now, having block players and guard players, so they were not able to get very much in the way of knocking our dudes around, and even our Skink were a bit hard to get for them, so having a 3-strength Skink and another Skink that can easily move around was very helpful, so I quite like that. So we were able to go ahead and they couldn't get the ball to our side of the field whenever they could get it, and they were on offense first, and we still scored twice in the first half, so yeah, we were just able to go ahead and get the ball and get it very quickly, and we had a very good spread of star player points. A lot of the players that we got star player points on are the valuable players for us, so I'm quite happy about that. Alright, so now it's time to go to next turn. Next time we're going to go against the High Elf team. That's going to be interesting. The Light Dragons. That's actually a pretty cool name and a cool color scheme for that too. I like that their name of their team actually matches the color scheme, I guess, so it's actually a nice little touch there. I'm curious because High Elf teams are usually based a lot around what level ups that you get for them because they don't start off with very many skills, so... They have a lineman with Fend and Wrestle. That's actually not too bad. Lineman having Fend is actually a pretty good skill to not allow the other team to follow up on blocks. Alright, so I think that all of their linemen have, or many of them have Wrestle. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen with Wrestle, so they might have an easier time knocking down our ball carriers with those linemen and being able to dodge out and blitz and do all that. So yeah, having dodge and wrestle means they can dodge out for a blitz with 4 agility and then use wrestle to automatically just take down the ball carrier regardless of anything else. So, and they have 2 guys with wrestle and fend. A lineman with block, dodge, and... No, pass block. Okay, pass block, dodge, and wrestle. Like, are they not allowed to get the block skill, or are they just choosing wrestle for strategic reasons, I guess? I was thinking, I was like, man, is that block and wrestle in the same thing? No, it's not. This is the block skill. So they have a blitzer with catch... No, dodge. So dodge and block. That's going to be a tough player to deal with. Catcher with catch, catcher with dodge and diving tackle. That's going to be a bit of a nuisance too. They have a thrower that's leveled up with accurate and sure hands, so getting their thrower out of the game early is probably going to be a priority. He doesn't have dodge, he doesn't have block, and he doesn't have any of the skills that make it harder to knock him down, so we are going to want to make sure that we can knock him out of the game as soon as possible. And then they have a catcher with guard and dodge. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, this is a much better team than the team that we just faced, obviously. They have much better skills. Wrestle, while it's not generally considered as important as block, it's good for taking down ball carriers, so that's going to be interesting, and it gets around the block skill, so if you have wrestle, you can take down an opposing player who has block, if you have wrestle, so that's going to be interesting to deal with the next match in our Blood Bowl qualifiers. So now it's time to go ahead and level up and see how we do here. We want to get Swatter leveled up next match to see if we want to keep him around and not have him inflate the team value. Let's do Zlat to the Moon first for his first level up and see what he gets. almost got a doubles there, but it probably wouldn't have been very important except for maybe the dodge skill. I could go for Mighty Blow. Having 2 guard players is probably enough. We're probably just going to go with block. We could go with tackle, since that could be very important in this match against the High Elves. They have a lot of players of dodge, so I'll have to consider that. Let's see what we get with the Skink level up here. So Tenqulaticus, you have a +1 movement. Let's see what we get for you. Regular level up, so I don't know, sidestep is probably a good one. Diving catch, I guess. +1 any catch roll from an accurate pass targeted to a square. So yeah, diving catch would actually not be too bad here. Sure feet would also be good for going for it and having potentially more movement speed, but diving catch can kind of ensure that as long as we get a decent passing roll, he still has a decent chance to go and catch the ball, being able to do the diving catch. And then a +1 to his catch roll from an accurate pass. That means that if we get an accurate pass, it's not likely he's going to drop it. So sidestep would also be good, so we can use the sideline more with him as well, but diving catch with this particular player is probably best. Since we already have +1 movement and all that, we'll just go with diving catch, I think, to try and make him a prime catcher. And then also in kickoffs, it can be relevant to have diving catch to where maybe if something like a kickoff is going to land 1 square away from him, then he might be able to catch it, I think. So yeah, kickoff. So yeah, if it lands 1 square away from him, he's going to have a chance to catch it, basically. So I think that's worth it. And then Zlat of the Moon, I think we're going to get tackle with him, because we're going to be going up against a high elf team with lots of dodge, and dodging teams have generally been the teams that are difficult to deal with. So we do need some tackle on our team to deal with that and deal with the dodging players. So, and plus tackle also makes it better offensively to do the defender stumbles role. So I think that tackle is something we need on 1 player at least. It was between block and tackle, but I think that we need tackle, at least for this potential matchup here with the... I mean, just with the way that we're matching up, we need at least 1 player with tackle. I think that's just the best thing to do here. Block is probably better overall, but for the matchups that give us problems, we need tackle to help us out with that. So we have lots of strength, we have plenty of block now, we have 1 tackle player, we have guard. So we have lots of strength, we have lots of guard, considering. And we have several block players here, so having tackle, I think, in the long run, is probably going to be better to have it for matchup reasons against these passing teams and like elf teams, Amazon teams. Wood elves are pretty nasty to deal with if you don't have any players of tackle to deal with them. Opposing lizardmen teams, if you don't have tackle to deal with the skink dodging in and out. And the ogre teams that have the little noblars that try and dodge in and out everywhere, having a tackle player can negate a lot of what they try and do with them. So, alright, so next time, hopefully we're going to get Swatter leveled up and see if he's going to stick around with the team long term. And then, hopefully we're going to have a very successful match. So, I thank everyone for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a bit of a one-sided match, I will admit, but... you know, it's still fun to get back in the saddle once again, to go ahead and put on the helmets, get on the gridiron, and start knocking some foes around and really kicking some tail. So we are Lizardmen, so we have some tail and we can kick it very good. So I thank everyone for watching. I hope you had fun for this match today, and next time I hope you enjoy me going up against the High Elf team, which should hopefully be a very entertaining match. So hope you had fun, and I hope every one of my American friends and audience members had a very good 4th of July. I wasn't able to post the video around 4th of July time because I was busy around then, but I hope you all had a fun and safe 4th of July this year, and I hope that everyone has a very wonderful day wherever you are, and as always, take care.